The Mulva Cultural Center in De Pere has a grand opening this Friday.
We got an inside look today, and we are bringing you along. The First Alert Update, Emily Byer takes us inside before the debut of the first ticketed exhibit called Ladies and Gentlemen, the Beatles.
We're very blessed and excited to have reached this milestone. They've designed a masterpiece here.
The brand new 75,000 square foot Mulva Cultural Center preparing for their grand opening this Friday. The facility, which is a work of art itself, will house traveling exhibits featuring history, culture, and the arts. Jim and Miriam Mulva wanting to give back to the community they love by bringing the world to downtown De Pere.
We're trying to stimulate the interest of all age groups to come here and experience things that they might never have experienced before.
A look on the inside proving the delay was worth the wait.
We had some starts and stops and changes on how we could adapt and make what it is today, which we think is a very interesting and compelling kind of place to come and visit for, as I said, all age groups.
World class. We wanted to have a world-class facility, world-class content, world-class food. Everything needs to be world-class.
The $100 million project took more than 250,000 labor hours to complete.
Numerous, too many to name, craft workers and tradesmen that hands put this facility together.
Endless features make the building unique, including a 10,000 square foot exhibit space, a reception area, educational classrooms, including a theater, a gift shop designed after the Metropolitan Museum of Art gift shop in New York, an upscale restaurant, Savor on Broadway, expected to open early next year, an outdoor fire garden area, and of course, the views of the Fox River. All of those windows, 20,000 square feet of glass, giving visitors an unbelievable view, transforming downtown De Pere.
This is an incredible gift to the community. We can't be more grateful, we can't be more thankful, and we anticipate that this will be enjoyed, not just in De Pere, but in northeastern Wisconsin, and really throughout the United States.
In De Pere, Emily Byer, Action 2 News.